Welcome to CMU Public Television's Quiz Central. Tonight, Big Rapids and Ovid-Elsie match wits. Stay tuned.
Support for Quiz Central is provided by the CMU Bookstore. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, maroon and gold memories, and an official outfitter of Adidas apparel at the Central Michigan University owned and operated CMU Bookstore. Online shopping 7 days a week at cmubookstore.com. The CMU Bookstore celebrating 12 seasons as a proud sponsor of Quiz Central. On campus at the University Center and game day locations at Kelly Short Stadium and the CMU Events Center. Program support provided by Lake Superior State University, offering an accredited 4-year fire science program. In addition, students working at the Aquatic Research Laboratory maintain one of the few Atlantic salmon fisheries in North America. Online at lssu.edu.
Quiz Central begins now.
Starry Night.
Yes, that is right.
The Erie Canal.
Yeah, that's right.
Northwest Passage.
Yeah. A round of applause for our champions.
Good evening. Tonight, it's Big Rapids and Ovid-Elsie in the Quiz Central Spotlight. Here's how our game works. We start the season with 48 teams in 4 different divisions. A champion will be crowned in each of those divisions, and one of those teams will become this year's overall winner. The 4 starters and 3 alternates of the division championship teams will each receive a 2-year, $4,000 housing scholarship to Central Michigan University from CMU Residence Life. Also up for grabs, textbook scholarships from the CMU Bookstore. Those will go to 4 lucky Quiz Central seniors. Right now, let's get on to our maroon and gold round to kick off the game. This is a 2-minute timed round where teams have a chance to answer quickly and correctly. We ask that teammates do not converse among themselves. The correct answers are worth 10 points. Teams, pick up your buzzers, and here is your first question. What organization, which in 1915 first awarded the Spingarn Medal, was founded in 1909 by a group including W.E.B. Du Bois to promote civil rights? Casper, Big Rapids.
The NAACP.
That is correct. What film character forces Susan Alexander to become an opera singer, runs the New York Enquirer, and dies at Xanadu after muttering the word rosebud? Aria, Big Rapids.
Kiera.
I am sorry, that is incorrect. Ovid-Elsie. All right. Joe Rosenthal photographed soldiers on Mount Suribici raising an American flag during what battle for a Pacific island during World War II? Ethan, Big Rapids.
Iwo Jima.
That is correct. What thinker who claimed to have been awoken from his dogmatic slumber by reading David Hume wrote 3 critiques, including one of pure reason? No answer there. We'll move on. What former 2016 presidential candidate who was briefly named Ted Cruz's running mate is a former Lucas, Ovid-Elsie?
Carly Fiorina.
That is correct. The parallelogram rule helps add what math objects which can be multiplied using cross and dot products and which have magnitude and direction? Aria, Big Rapids.
Vectors.
That is correct. The Battle of the Boyne was fought in response to what bloodless revolution in which English King James II was replaced by William and Mary in 1688? Aria, Big Rapids.
The Glorious Revolution?
That is correct. A flag with 12 gold stars forming a circle on a dark blue background represents what continent that lies across the... Ethan, Big Rapids.
Europe.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. And you can tell by the bell that we are done with that round. Let's go back and review some of the questions that were missed. The film character who muttered the word rosebud, Citizen Kane. And what thinker who claimed to have been awoken from his dogmatic slumber? That was Immanuel Kant. But all in all, very nicely done in the first round, and that gives us an opportunity to meet our Quiz Central contestants. We'll start with Big Rapids tonight, and Draves.
Hi, my name is Ryan Draves. I'm on the varsity tennis team, and I'm in marching band.
Hi, my name is Ethan Westerkamp. I'm in varsity tennis, and I'm in first robotics.
Hi, my name is Aria Rao. I play varsity tennis and golf. I'm on student council, and I'm in the band.
Hi, I'm Ryan Cosper. I play varsity soccer, and I am a member of the Spaghetti Bridge team.
All right, very good. Alternate team members are Luke Somsel, Susanna Kyling, and James Morgan. Coaching the Big Rapids team is Susan McCullen. Let's give them a big round of applause. Now, let's welcome our Ovid-Elsie team. Begin their introductions this evening with Jared.
Hi, I'm Jared. I'm a senior at Ovid-Elsie High School, and I'm in the band.
Hi, I'm Lucas Lodler. I'm a senior at Ovid-Elsie High School, and I play varsity soccer.
Hi, I'm Molly Maynard. I'm a junior at Ovid-Elsie High School, and I love tennis and rock climbing.
Hi, I'm Austin Ralph. I'm a senior at high school, and I play football and lacrosse.
No alternate members for the Ovid-Elsie team. They are under the guidership of Julia Keck. Julia Keck. Let's also give them a nice round of applause. Right now, the score is 50-10 Big Rapids, and that moves us right into our kickoff round. This is a combination of toss-up and bonus questions. The team that correctly answers a toss-up question gets a shot at up to 3 bonus questions. Toss-up questions require an individual response, but team members can consult on the bonus questions. If someone stumbles on a bonus question, we go back to a toss-up question for each team. So grab your buzzers and let's play our kickoff round. This author wrote about a cart driver who receives no answer to the call, "Bring out your dead," in a journal of the plague year. In another book by this author, a former cannibal is given the name Friday by a shipwrecked mariner. For 10 points, name this British author of Robinson Crusoe. Aria, Big Rapids.
Daniel Defoe.
That is correct, and we move right on to a bonus question for you. We have no need for buzzers on this, and again, we must have an answer from the coach or from the team captain. This man was excommunicated after taking a strong stance against the practice of selling indulgences. Name this leader of the Protestant Reformation who wrote the 95 Theses.
Martin Luther.
That is correct. Luther was condemned in an edict issued after this 1521 council, or diet, which was held in a namesake German city.
Frankfurt.
I am sorry. The answer we were looking for there was the Diet of Worms. Diet of Worms. So we go back now to another toss-up questions. Both teams can weigh in on this. A homophone of this 8-letter adjective refers to items that are distinct or disconnected. This word can describe avoidance of publicity or an action that is unlikely to be noticed. For 10 points, what word might appear in the sentence, "Police trailed the suspect at a blank distance"? Cosper, Big Rapids.
Inconspicuous?
That is incorrect. Ovid-Elsie? The answer we were looking for was discreet. Discreet. Another toss-up question. In 2005, a park in this city was temporarily decorated with vinyl gates set up by Jean-Claude and Christo. Daniel Burnham designed this city's triangular Flatiron building. The Art Deco. Jared, Ovid-Elsie.
New York City.
That is correct, and you qualify now for a bonus round question. The special portion of this theory was formulated after a thought experiment involving a man falling in an elevator, while its general form came later. What theory, developed by Albert Einstein, holds that space and time depend on the motion of the observer who measures them?
Relativity.
I am sorry. You are absolutely correct. The time dilation described by relativity is the subject of a paradox named for 2 of these people, one of whom makes a journey at great speed and consequently ages less than the other.
Twins. Right, twins. Twins.
That is correct. Special relativity implies that when an object travels very fast, a stationary observer will think that the object's length changes in this way.
Exponentially.
No, I'm sorry. The answer we were looking for there was contraction. But you got 2 of your bonus questions correct, and that signifies the end of our kickoff round. Both teams can sit back now, take a little bit of a breather. We'll take a break and be back right after this. Welcome back. After 2 rounds of play, we have Big Rapids in the lead, 70-40 over Ovid-Elsie, and that signifies it's time to play the perfect 10 round. In this round, we match things up a little bit here. You have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions from your choice of 3 categories. The opposing team gets 30 seconds to tackle all unanswered, missed, or passed questions. As we mentioned, Big Rapids has the lead, so that means Ovid-Elsie will go first. Today's subjects to choose from are Art Safari, Gold, Silver, and Bronze, and Must-Have Medal. Which one do you choose?
Gold, silver, and bronze.
Gold, silver, and bronze it is. Here are your questions. They relate to the Olympics, and the answers that we're looking for are about the Olympic Games. So the answers refer to the Olympic Games themselves. Greek city that hosted the first modern Olympics.
Athens.
Correct. American swimmer with the most career gold medals.
Michael Phelps.
Correct. Nickname given to the 1992 U.S. men's basketball team.
Pass.
Winter sliding event in which sliders lie face down and head first.
Luge.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Field event in which the Fosbury flop is used.
Pass.
Any of the 3 sports debuting in the 2016 Summer Olympics.
Pass.
Okay. Russian city that hosted the 2014 Winter Olympics.
Sochi.
Correct. Artist gymnastics event that occurs on a 12-meter square surface. And I'm sorry, we are out of time on that one. We will turn over now. Big Rapids, you have 30 seconds to answer the missed or unasked questions. Again, we're referring to our questions refer to the Olympic Games. Nickname given to the 1992 U.S. men's basketball team.
Dream Team.
Correct. Winter sliding event in which sliders lie face down and head first.
Skeleton.
Correct. Field event in which the Fosbury flop is used.
High jump.
Correct. Any of the 3 sports debuting in the 2016 Summer Olympics.
Golf.
That is correct. And the question we were asking there at the very end, artistic gymnastic event that occurs on a 12-meter square surface. The question there is floor exercise. So, very good. Now we go back. Our team from Big Rapids has a chance to pick from the 2 remaining categories. Those 2 categories are Art Safari and Must-Have Medal. Which one do you choose?
We're going to have Must-Have Medal, please.
Must-Have Medal. All right. The category itself is medals. The answers we're looking for identify these people, places, or things whose names or titles contain a medal. Identify the people, places, or things whose names or titles contain a medal. Nickname for iron pyrite.
Fool's Gold.
Fool's Gold.
That is correct. In an Alexander Dumas novel, this man is the twin brother of Louis XIV.
Pass.
Pass.
Planet whose orbital period is 88 days.
Mercury.
Mercury.
Correct. Herald of Galactus, whose original name was Norin Rad.
Silver Surfer.
Correct. Slang term for Democrats who oppose the Civil War.
Pass.
1959 Günter Grass novel about Oscar Matzerath.
Pass.
World's first billion-dollar corporation, which was once headed by J.P. Morgan.
Carnegie Steel.
I am sorry, that is not correct. TV network that airs SpongeBob SquarePants.
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Correct. And that turns us back over to Ovid-Elsie now. You have 30 seconds to answer the unasked questions or the ones that were incorrectly answered. In an Alexander Dumas novel, this man is the twin brother of Louis XIV.
Pass.
Planet whose orbital period is 88 days.
Mercury.
That is correct. Slang term for Democrats who opposed the Civil War.
Iron Fist.
No, I'm sorry, that is not correct. 1959 Günter Grass novel about Oscar Matzerath. And I'm sorry, we were out of time. The answers, the Dumas novel was The Man in the Iron Mask. The slang term for Democrats who opposed the Civil War were Copperheads. Günter Grass novel about Oscar Matzerath, that was called The Tin Drum. And the first billion-dollar corporation was U.S. Steel. All right, the home stretch is just ahead. One note, we did need to make a scoring adjustment. Right now it is Big Rapids 150, Ovid-Elsie 70. So Big Rapids 150, Ovid-Elsie 70 as we move into the home stretch round. The home stretch round is very similar to like round 2. The round features a combination of toss-up and bonus questions. I will ask one toss-up question, and the team that answers it correctly will be asked up to 3 bonus questions. An incorrect answer on a bonus question will take us back to a toss-up question for each team. Here is your toss-up question. In June 2016, this state's former Speaker of the House, Mike Hubbard, was convicted on corruption charges. That same month, this state's legislature began impeachment hearings. Casper, Big Rapids.
Alabama.
That is correct, and that takes us to a bonus question for you. This rock group originally named itself after Mookie Blaylock and named its first album 10 after his jersey number. Name this grunge group which features the vocals of Eddie Vedder on songs like Alive, Daughter, and Worldwide Suicide.
Wait. Is that
Jerseys?
Oh, wait, Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam?
That is correct. In 1999, Pearl Jam covered this song, which featured the lyrics, "Where, oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me."
Do you guys have any idea?
Just guess Cradle.
Cradle.
No, I'm sorry. That was The Last Kiss. It was originally done in 1964 by the Cavaliers. I wouldn't expect you to know that, but I know that. Another toss-up question. This man wrote the opinion in the anti-incorporation case, Barron versus Baltimore. As a trial judge, he acquitted Aaron Burr of treason. This successor of Oliver Ellsworth established judicial review in Marbury versus Madison. Name this longest-serving Chief Justice. Jared, Ovid-Elsie.
Marshall.
That is correct. And you qualify now for a bonus question. He offered his 2 daughters to the mob at his door, even though they seemed more interested in men than women. Name this biblical man whose wife turned to salt after the destruction of their city.
Saul?
No, I'm sorry. We were looking for Lot. Lot was the correct answer there. Another toss-up question. This character believes that a rainstorm signals his approaching death, which takes place in a location that is only known to Theseus. He uses gold pins to put out his eyes in a play by Sophocles. Name this king who unwittingly kills his father and marries his mother. Aria, Big Rapids.
Oedipus?
That is correct, and we get to a bonus question for you. When not bound in the atomic nucleus, it has a mean lifetime of about 15 minutes before it decays. Name this uncharged particle whose mass is about equal to that of the proton.
Neutron?
Correct. In nuclear reactors, neutrons are used to bombard radioactive nuclei, causing this process in which the nucleus splits into 2 smaller nuclei.
Fission?
Correct. This stable isotope of hydrogen consists of 1 neutron and 1 proton.
H2.
It's dihydrogen.
Dihydrogen.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. We were looking for deuterium. But that takes us back to another toss-up question. This character idolizes Dave Singleman, who continued to work until dying at the age of 84. While staying in Boston, this man's infidelity is discovered by his football star son, Biff. For 10 points, name this man who crashes his car at the end of Arthur Miller's play, Death of a Salesman. No answer there. We were looking for Willie Loman. This man reused his Sanctus in D major for 6 voices in his Mass in B minor. The oldest known harpsichord solo also appears in the 5th of a set of 6 works he composed for a Margrave. The Brandenburg concertos were written for what German Baroque composer? Jared, Ovid-Elsie.
Beethoven.
I am sorry, that is incorrect. Big Rapids? Aria?
Bach.
That is correct. Another bonus question. It is the Mississippi's 2nd longest tributary. Name this river which passes through Wichita, Tulsa, and its namesake state, Little Rock.
Arkansas.
Correct. This commercial and pioneer trail linking Missouri and New Mexico followed much of the Arkansas River's upper course.
Trail of Tears? I don't know.
The Trail of Tears.
I am sorry. We were looking for the Santa Fe Trail. And that brings us to the end of our round here. We're going to give everybody a little bit of a break and be back to finish off Quiz Central right after this.
My child who's watching Super Y, and it said, what letter makes the sound R? And my 2-year-old is jumping up and down going, R, R, R. I love that. I wish I knew the genius that came up with Dinosaur Train. I mean, what little boy especially doesn't like dinosaurs and trains and to put them together in one show? My family does without a lot of stuff, but I would be horrified if we had to do without PBS.
Stay connected with CMU Public Broadcasting online. Follow us on Facebook and stay up to date with all of our latest program offerings. Download the free WCMU app for Apple and Android devices and get the latest news from CMU Public Radio. And watch your favorite local and national TV programs through Passport. Stay connected with CMU Public Broadcasting anytime, anywhere. Learn more at WCMU.org.
And as we move into the final countdown, we have a score of 220 Big Rapids to 80 for Ovid-Elsie. And that does signify time for the final countdown, another 2-minute rapid fire round. The first player to signal gets a shot at answering the question. If you get it wrong, we turn to the opposing team for a chance to answer. Here we go. What author wrote a novella in which the lawyer Gabriel Utterson learns about a potion that transforms the kindly Dr. Jekyll into the evil Mr. Hyde? Next question. Which military force founded on November 10th, 1775, uses the slogan Semper Fidelis, or always faithful? Ethan, Big Rapids.
The United States Marine Corps.
That is correct. What city endured a 2012 teacher strike before 47 schools were closed in areas like Bronzeville, but its charter school supporting mayor Rahm Emanuel? Ethan, Big Rapids. That is correct. What sea, on which the historic ports of Split and Dubrovnik are located, lies north of the Strait of Otranto and borders the east coast of Italy? Ethan, Big Rapids.
The Adriatic.
That is correct. What character who discusses the nature of virtue in a work titled The Meno appears in such works as The Symposium, written by his student Plato? Casper, Big Rapids.
Aristotle.
No, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Ovid-Elsie? Molly, Ovid-Elsie.
Socrates.
That is correct. What indie band that included This Is Why We Fight on the album The King Is Dead is fronted by Colin Malloy and made the 2006 album The Crane Wife? Aria, Big Rapids.
The Decemberists.
That is correct. What novel in which the youngest of the greasers are Johnny and Ponyboy was written by S.E. Jared, Ovid-Elsie?
The Outsiders.
That is correct. In which Asian country do Muslim moral rebels seek the independence of Mindanao from the government of President Rodrigo Duterte? No answer on that. I'm sorry. We did not get that in time before the buzzer. We were looking for the Philippines there and that. The only other question that was missed was what author wrote the novella, and that was Stevenson. So a good round had by all. Our winners this evening are Big Rapids by a score of 260 to 100, and that means that they will be invited back to continue their quest for a season championship in future games. And with that, we'd like to thank both of our teams for joining us with another big round of applause. Join us again next week as we host the best and brightest high school students from around Michigan on Quiz Central. Good night.
Support for Quiz Central is provided by the CMU Bookstore. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, maroon and gold memories, and an official outfitter of Adidas apparel at the Central Michigan University owned and operated CMU Bookstore. Online shopping 7 days a week at cmubookstore.com. The CMU Bookstore celebrating 12 seasons as a proud sponsor of Quiz Central. On campus at the University Center and game day locations at Kelly Short Stadium and the CMU Events Center.